What's the Chow Chinchows JoesphGames here, and welcome to another week of the WSS The World Showdown Series. It is week 7. We are officially at the halfway point of the regular season, so this is where everything all begins again, hopefully, for the Chester Chinchows after what we've been through over the past couple of weeks. We might be able to get some good wins on the trot and see if we can make those playoff positions. Joining us this week, and possibly, hopefully, maybe for the rest of the tournament on Team Builders, we'll have to wait and see on that, is my assistant coach, awesome friend, Darude Leafstorm.
Hey guys, it's Darude Leafstorm here, and I'm super excited to be in this Team Builder this week because I just wanted to be in this to show you kind of our thought processes behind the team. And this team this week, I'm really looking forward to going over. One of my favorite teams I've ever built, really. So, we've ever built. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it this week. So,
yeah, I mean, at first I was a bit reluctant from this team, but
and then something happened and his mind completely got changed. So,
yeah. After seeing this week's mock battle, because we've started doing mock battles and testing and stuff like that, this team is coming together.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we'll be that IBL champions that we want to be one day.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Anyway, so we are facing the Worcester Walrenins and their team made by Equals Not Funny as the coach, and this could be a rather interesting team. So let's take a look at this team. So I'm not going to go... I used to go through these like all one by one and figure out like what's going to kill me. But the fact is, I don't want to do that this week. I want to just like tell you the entire team and we can talk about what's the team as a whole, its synergy, and what could be like individual mons that could destroy this idea that we have.
Mm-hmm.
So, he has Mega Beedrill, Manaphy, Victini, Magnezone, Haxorus, Klefki, Staraptor, Hitmonchan, and Cradilly. And no points picks on this team as well, so it's really interesting.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And of course, he also has the Groundium Z, but I don't think he's ever bought it or is ever going to bring it. It's not a really good Z move for his team.
Nope, no ground type, so not too scary for us this week.
So, what do you think of this team? Do you think it could be a threat, or do you think it's just like easy?
This team is actually it's built well, but it dies to ground types mainly. I can see with the Klefki, the Magnezone, the Victini, but it's very, very offensive, and it applies a lot of pressure to a lot of teams. With the U-turn core of Mega Beedrill and Victini, and then Volt Switch on Magnezone, as well as U-turn on Staraptor. So it is very Volt turn based. It has one Rapid Spinner in Hitmonchan, and it has Defog Staraptor, but I don't ever see him bringing Defog Staraptor.
No.
And that's quite scary for his team because rocks really do affect his team with the Mega Beedrill, the Victini, and the Staraptor, and it can really pressure his Volt turn strategy, from what I can see from his team. And he has Klefki, which is bulky, and Cradilly, which is bulky. But that's about it for bulk-wise, and they don't take ground-type moves very well, so a strong ground type really does do a number to his team. Luckily, we have one in Charles, which is probably one of the best offensive ground types in the game, with that sheer force, earth power. But yeah, threats I can see on this team is definitely the Mega Beedrill. Mega Beedrill got a buff this gen, not having to use Protect, so it can run more coverage moves. Manaphy and Victini are obviously huge threats, as well as the Magnezone. Haxorus, if it sets up, can become really scary. Klefki is good support with screens. I could see him bringing this week. Staraptor hits super hard. Hitmonchan, probably just going to be a spinner, really. And Cradilly, if he brings it, it will just be there to set up rocks, if anything. So yeah, overall, I think this team could use some point picks, to be perfectly honest. But it is a good team. It just dies to ground spam, basically. So yeah, that's my view of the team. So yeah.
And as far as I can work out, he hasn't actually been updating his sheets, so I don't really know about previous records. As far as I
right.
know, he is like, I think if I'm looking at my records, he should be like 2-3 or yeah, 2-3 because he never faced last week in
Okay.
the end, and with a -9 differential.
Okay, so quite a low differential then. So, hmm, that's interesting. But if he went 2-3, that's that's yeah, I could see that with his team, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, if you're not prepared for his team, I think it can definitely put a hurting down. So yeah, we'll see how we'll do this week against his team. But I think we've got a good matchup this week,
Yeah,
especially after the mock battle, which we'll get
definitely.
into.
Anyway, so we did some transactions during this week,
Indeed, we did.
and I'm actually really liking these transactions. I was a little reluctant to start, but now I'm interested to see where we can go with these. So let's take a look at what happened here. So first off, we have to say goodbye, or the appropriate, to quote Alan Sugar, "You're fired," to Lapunny. Why are we firing Lapunny?
We're firing Lopunny because it just didn't have any good matchups, I felt like. And it was taking up our normal type spot, which could be used for something much, much better, as we can see. It's not much better, but I think it's a very underrated mon, what we picked up for Lopunny. But the reason we drafted Lopunny was because it was fast. We had the Normalium Z, so we could pull off Z Splash, but it's very situational, I felt, when we were team building. When I would look at Lopunny, then look at the team, it just wouldn't fit together. It had access to Baton Pass and some setup moves, but it was very difficult to pull off. Again, it was very situational. So I felt like we needed things that were not so situational and could work almost every week. And I think that's what we got with our other point picks. So we dropped Lopunny for another normal type. And yeah, we have to say goodbye to Lopunny, but I think it will be for the greater good, to be perfectly honest.
Okay. And we are now picking up, to start off with, we are picking up Fries, the Lanoon, which I'm really excited to use. So hopefully Lanoon can do some work for us. Yeah, I think you know a few things about Lanoons.
Yeah. Basically, how this transpired was I'm in this other league, and this guy drafted Lanoon, and I always knew Lanoon was good, but in Gen 6, it had the Citrus Berry belly drum set, and Citrus Berry heals 25% of your health when you go down to 50%. Um, and that was good and all, but it still wasn't tanky enough to take those hits after, well, at 75%. It would take very few hits, but if it did manage to take the hit, it would most likely sweep a team with Stab Extreme Speed, which is insane. Stab Extreme Speed, because of how high the priority level, I guess, of Extreme Speed is. It is very hard to counter, as well as Shadow Claw to hit ghost types. So it is very threatening. So it is that. But then in Gen 7, there was actually a buff to some berries where if you go down to 25% of your HP, you gain 50%. And Lanoon has an ability called Gluttony, where it activates berries sooner. Well, that's it really. It activates berries sooner than they should. So these berries actually activate at 50%. So the whole strategy is you belly drum, go down to 50%, eat the berry, and then you get back up to full HP with +6 attack, and you sweep with Stab Extreme Speed. Because you don't need as much speed because of that extreme speed. So you put the EVs in health, which allows you to take more hits. So Lanoon got a huge buff this gen, I feel, without actually getting a buff to the Pokemon. So I feel like it's going to be completely unexpected as a threat to the rest of the teams. And I feel like it's going to catch a bunch of people off guard. So I think Lanoon is kind of our ace up our sleeve, I guess you could call it. And I do, as you can tell, I have a lot to say about Lanoon because I am in another league and my friend drafted Lanoon and he swept someone within, I think it was like 7 turns or 6 turns with Lanoon, and it was crazy. So yeah, that's why we picked up Lanoon, and I do think it will make a great member to the Chester Chinchous this season.
Awesome. I mean, that mock battle that we had, that was 11 turns.
Yep. We should probably mention that actually. We did have a mock battle, like Joe just said, and basically, well, we'll go through the strategy with the team builder actually, so I'll mention it then. But yeah, basically, Lanoon swept. That was the basic of the battle. So yeah, Lanoon already putting in work, and it's not even entered its first battle yet. So yeah, I guess we can get into our next pickup.
And we also
right
picked up Weezing. Weezing, to me, is a very tanky mon. It can take a lot of physical hits, not a lot of special hits, but it can take a lot of physical hits, and it can deal decent special attack and physical attack too. We can always run Explosion if necessary. I mean, let's hope that never happens, but we can always do it.
It is true. So the reasons why we picked up Weezing, we do have Nidoking, which was a reason why I didn't really want to pick it up. But if you look at our Psychic type weakness, it's really not that bad. We have Latias to cover it, and we have Bishop to pressure Psychic types. So it's really not that bad at all. And then we have the Nidoking and Breloom, who both died to Psychic, and now Weezing. But like I said, we have Bishop, which really threatens Psychic types with Pursuit, as well as stuff like Sucker Punch Knockoff. So yeah, I didn't feel like it was too bad. I felt like what was worse was our ground type weakness. We have Bishop, Nidoking, Magmortar, and Xurkitree, which are all weak to ground. We do have Togekiss and Latias. However, Extra Drill does get over Latias. And we also have Ninjask, but let's face it, Ninjask doesn't really switch into much. And yeah, so I feel like we needed something for ground types. And even though Extra Drill does get over Weezing as well, it is a ground type immunity, and it's one that we needed, I feel like. And Weezing also gets access to a move called Memento, which is also part of the Lanoon strategy. And Memento basically kills the Pokemon off, so we would lose Weezing. However, the opposing Pokemon gets their special attack and attack lowered by 2 stages. So now they're doing even less to Lanoon when it switches in. And yeah, in the mock battle, that was basically what destroyed my opponent. And it was a fun time. It was a really fun time. So yeah, I felt like Weezing was, again, another necessary pick to this team. And I think it will come through for us this season.
Okay, so yeah, I really like it. I will mention this now. One ugly ass shiny is Weezing.
Yeah, yeah, its shiny is pretty bad.
But I do like the Noon shiny. The Noon shiny is amazing.
Yeah, I like it too. It's orange.
So that is our transactions for this week. Let's actually get into the actual team. So this week we are bringing, and I'm quite excited to be saying that we are bringing these Pokemon, but we are bringing Lanoon, Weezing, Xurkitree, Suicune, Latios, and Nidoking. So Nidoking is rejoining the team after last week, picking the captain's armband back up from Suicune. And also joining him is Latios, Suicune, Xurkitree, which I really love this set, and hopefully it should do some work. We have Weezing with a Black Sludge, and we also have the Lanoon, the front runner, the new kill leader of the WSS.
Yep, that's what it will be in about 2 weeks.
Hey, it could happen. I mean, Scizor only has 8 kills, and that's the kill leader at the moment.
Oh wow, it can definitely happen then. I believe in Lanoon. You can do it.
Okay, so without further ado, let's talk about Lanoon. So, Lanoon. This Lanoon has a Figgy Berry with Gluttony for the ability, Belly Drum, Extreme Speed, Dig, and Pin Missile on the moveset, with an Adamant Nature, 252 in attack, 220 in HP, 8 in defense, 8 in special defense, and 20 in speed. Darude.
Well, we have the boy here, Linoon, um, holding that Figgy Berry like I mentioned. Now, what the Figgy Berry does is it was one of the useless berries back in Gen 6 and before that. But again, the berry's got a buff. So now when you're at a quarter HP, you restore half your HP. And with the Gluttony ability, it turns it to when you're at half HP, you gain half HP. So you basically get full HP after a belly drum, which is completely insane. So yeah, we're rocking Belly Drum, obviously, to get that +6 combination with the Figgy Berry and the Gluttony. We have Dig to hit his Magnezone if it's not Air Balloon, which I don't really see happening. Also to hit Klefki, but that could have Magnet Rise. And it has the potential of screens as well. So Klefki is really the only thing that stops this. And in the mock battle, the opponent didn't actually bring Klefki because we have so many counters to it as well, especially with us having so many point picks. Like we have 3 point picks. He has none. So it gives us an advantage in the amount of Pokemon we have. The only things Klefki can really deal with on our team are this and Togekiss. It can wall Latias. But other than that, we have quite a lot for it. And if it is screens, it can turn up into setup Forta for quite a few of our Pokemon. We have Nidoking for it. We have Magmortar. Xurkitree walls it. Yeah, Suicune walls it. Breloom can probably take it on. Weezing takes it on. So it's really not that threatening. So yeah, we do have the Dig for that. Mainly for the Magnezone though. And then we have Pin Missile, which is for Cradilly. Now, if his Cradilly is physically defensive to wall Linoon, well, he thinks it walls Linoon. Pin Missile after 2 hits has a chance to knock it out, I believe, if he's max HP, max defense. However, 3 hits guarantees to KO. So you basically have to be really unlucky to not knock out the Cradilly with the Pin Missile. And then obviously we have Extreme Speed, which kills everything but Magnezone, Klefki, and Cradilly after a Belly Drum. We're running 220 HP, 252 attack, 8 in defense, 8 in special defense, and 20 speed. This is enough speed to outspeed non-scarfed Magnezone. And we have the HP to live some hits. We have quite a lot of HP as well, so it will really help out Linoon this week, as well as 8 in defense and 8 in special defense. So I'm expecting a lot out of this Linoon this week, especially after the mock battle. So yeah, that's Linoon.
Okay, I'm very, very excited to see what the Lanoon can do. Hopefully, it'll do everything that we saw in the mock battle. Hell, I might link the mock battle in the description.
I mean, I would be down with that, to be honest, because that mock battle was great. I love that mock battle so much. Because as well, it was funny because when we started team building, Joe was like, "Oh, let's bring this and this and this," and I was like, "I kind of like Linoon this week," and then Joe was like, "Linoon didn't really fit with my team plan, but if you want to go with it, we can do it." So I was like, "Okay." You're clearly underestimating Linoon here. So I was like, let me have a mock battle and show you the power of Linoon, because Linoon can put in a lot of work this week. And lo and behold, it swept in the mock battle. So, and then Joe was just, his head went after that. It was like, okay, yep, we're bringing Linoon.
Yeah, I wanted to bring Magnezone. Not Magnezone. What was... Oh,
Magmortar, I think.
Magmortar, yeah. I wanted to bring Magmortar. I had ideas for Breloom on this team as well. I even had ideas for Bayonet. But I never fought Lanoon.
Yeah, Linoon is is good. Underestimated
Anyway.
again, see?
Yeah, but no more. No more underestimating
No more.
Linoon.
No more. He will be the god of the WSS. The
Damn
king.
right he will be. And hopefully joining us in the IBL as well.
Yeah.
But that's a
Wink,
tier
wink.
5 pickup we could pick up easily.
Jeez. Tier 5 Lanoon? God.
Yeah, it's real. It'd be down there in the PU, sadly.
Mm. Sounds like a great pick.
Yeah, it does. Anyway, so then we have Wheezing, or Gasball as I'm calling him. Gasball has the Black Sludge with Levitate, Sludge Bomb, Flamethrower, Pain Split, and Memento, which I love now. We have 248 in HP, 252 in defense, 8 in special attack, and rocking a Bold Nature to lower our attack but plus our defense, which again doesn't really matter because you're not going to be really relying on Wheezing physical attack stat really,
No.
unless you're trying that explosion strategy out that I was saying.
Yeah.
Although you run explosion in your other league.
Yeah, that's very true. I do run explosion on my Mega Glalie because
Do you
Mega
use
Glalie kills things. Yeah, I used it in week 3, I think, and it destroyed a Latias. So yeah, that was fun. I think it was a Latias that it destroyed.
Anyway, so talk to us about Gasball.
Okay, so we've got Gasball here, the Wheezing, basically kind of like the other half to the combination. We're holding the Black Sludge. I did toss up between Rocky Helmet and Black Sludge for this set. This is our Mega Beedrill switch-in, and that's why I kind of wanted to run Rocky Helmet, so it would take damage over time every time it U-turned on us. But I felt like Black Sludge was probably a little bit better because it can give us that reliable recovery so we can stay around to take hits from Beedrill, because Beedrill is a huge threat, not just to our team, but to most teams, to be perfectly honest. With that, I think it's base 145 attack with adaptability and not needing protect anymore. It's crazy. But yeah, running Sludge Bomb for main stab. It just hits things. Flamethrower is there for Clef Key and Magnezone, which we can't touch otherwise, as well as Mega Beedrill. We have Pain Split to get some health back if we do need this Wheezing. And then we have Memento, which is the main move, I feel like, this week. Once Klefki is dead, he has nothing for this thing. We Memento out into Lanoon, and then we click Belly Drum and pretty much win from that point. If Klefki is dead, obviously, and no Air Balloon on Magnezone. But even then, I don't think Magnezone would be able to kill Lanoon. Maybe I'm overestimating Lanoon now, but yeah, I think there are a few things to watch out for, but this can definitely work, and we've seen it from the mock battle, so we're feeling confident in this strategy this week. And yeah, like I said, I think these two are really going to help us out, not just this week, but in the future as well. So yeah, we got Gasball and Fries so far.
Yeah, I like Gasball, I like Fries. Let's keep it going and talk about Extension Cord. Extension Cord, our Exuntry, has a Choice Scarf with Beast Boost, Volt Switch, Signal Beam, Hidden Power Ground, and Dazzling Gleam on its moveset. Investments, 252 in Special Attack, 232 in Speed, 4 in Special Defense, 4 in Regular Defense, and 16 in HP as well, rocking a Timid Nature. 2+ our speed, but lower our attack, and I don't think I'm ever going to run a physical Exuntry ever, so I don't need to worry about that attack.
No. Yeah, physical circuitry, not very good. Because even if you do run physical and you get a beast boost, I think it will still end up going to special attack because of just how high its special attack stat is. If you gave it no IVs and no EVs, I think it would still gain the boost off of beast boost, which is insane. But yeah, circuitry is very, very strong against this team. He has no ground type, no electric immunity, which means you spam Volt Switch. That is one thing that really hurts this team. And his only resistance, well, he has 2 resistances to this. That's Magnezone and Cradilly. Cradilly is set up for our Lanoon, which you could say these three work really well together in that case because you spam Volt Switch. He has no switch-ins to it. His only switch-in is Cradilly. You go into Lanoon, click Belly Drum, win the game if Klefki isn't there. And yeah, otherwise, something is pretty much dying on his team. We have Volt Switch just to spam. I was thinking of putting Thunderbolt on this set, but I didn't really think it was needed. I felt like these other moves were probably needed more. Maybe we didn't need Signal Beam. It is to hit the Cradilly, and that's why I did put it on there. But, you know, it's a 50-50. I think it will be worth it in the end. So we're running Volt Switch to spam, Signal Beam to hit Cradilly, Impound Ground to hit Magnezone, and Dazzling Gleam to hit Haxorus. Now, the only problem is we do not outspeed Adamant Haxorus, I don't believe, if it's at +1, no matter what, which is kind of unfortunate. I think it's like by 1 point or something like that. But we outspeed everything on his team, barring Scarfers, like Scarf Victini. We outspeed Scarf Magnezone, so that's good. We do outspeed Scarf Staraptor. And Scarf Staraptor is pretty scary, but we do have Suicune, which can take it on to some degree. And to be honest, do I see him bringing Staraptor? Probably, but then his team is dying more and more to Stealth Rocks by the minute. And we are bringing Stealth Rocks this week, as you'll see a bit later on. But yeah, Xurkitree just spams Volt Switch versus his team, and I think it's very good this week because it's a very strong Volt Switch with that base 173 attack. Insane, and I think it can put in a lot of work this week. So yeah, that's Xurkitree.
Yeah, I really love this set. Hopefully it'll work for us this week. I mean, I love Xurkitree. I've learned a lot from using Xurkitree, and it's one of those ones that when the original draft came around, I said I wanted to draft this. I drafted this, and I'm really happy I'm still drafted this, despite the fact it still hasn't proved... It's still... Some people would say it still hasn't proved its shelf yet, but I would say it has.
It is just a good Volt Switch spammer, really. But its speed does kind of hurt it a little bit because of how it is just a random speed stat. Like 83 is completely random, and it's really not that great. But with the Choice Scarf, it does help it out a lot. And luckily, we do outspeed the Mega Beedrill with the Choice Scarf. So yeah, like I said, I think Xurkitree can really put in some work, and it is a very good mon in League format. And that's why some leagues actually have banned it. But yeah, we have Xurkitree.
Okay, and then we go to Runner. Runner is our Suicune with Leftovers, Pressure for the ability, Roar, Scald, Toxic, and Ice Beam on its moveset. Investments, we have 252 in defense, 8 in special attack, and 248 in HP. Once again, this is a Rawcoon set, but it is awesome. So there's really not much else to say about it, but yeah, I'm sure you can find stuff.
Yeah, there is not a lot to say about this. Like Joe said, it is pretty standard set. We are physically defensive to take on stuff like Staraptor, but this is mainly for his Haxorus, because if he gets a Dragon Dance up with Haxorus, it is pretty scary versus our team, especially with it having Mold Breaker, so it can hit our Weezing through the Levitate, which is petrifying, but I actually believe Weezing lives an Earthquake from a +1 Haxorus, which is insane. But yeah, Haxorus is pretty scary, so that's why we do have Roar. As well as if we can get Stealth Rocks, we can just keep on Roar pressuring him. Since he does have a Volt Turn team, we just keep on roaring, everything takes Stealth Rock damage, and that racks up over time, making Linoon's job even easier. Yeah, we have Scald for main stab and to burn things, basically, like the Mega Beedrill, Staraptor, Hitmonchan. Haxorus as well, if it isn't holding Lumberry. But we would probably click Ice Beam or Roar versus that. We have Toxic to wear down Cradilly. That's about it for Toxic, really. It can help versus Manaphy as well. And since he doesn't have the Water Megastone, he cannot be running the Z Rain Dance Manaphy. So we can do stuff with Xurkitree at that point. And then Ice Beam is to hit Cradily, Staraptor, Haxorus, and that's mainly it. Very standard set, but it does really help us this week so we don't get swept by +1 Haxorus. So yeah, Suicune is very reliable. And I'm actually really glad it's on this team because it just, like I said, it is reliable and it's going to help us out a lot this week, I feel.
Okay. I really like Suicune. It's going to be amazing to see what happens with Suicune. When I was originally drafting it, I was thinking to myself, I didn't really have anything that was going to be physical walls for the team. But like, Suicune is the best physical wall there is when it comes to water types. I mean, you got Vaporeon, which is slightly, I don't know, like, I'd say Vaporeon's like the discount Suicune.
Yeah, well, they kind of do different jobs in a way. Like, they're both bulky waters, but Vaporeon is more, well, it has access to Wish, so it mostly does that, really. But I do think Suicune is the better physical wall, and Vaporeon's probably, like, the special wall in Suicune. I mean, Suicune has both the same defense stats, the same... So special defense and defense are both exactly the same. But it is very good versus most physical attackers, and the water type is just a great defensive typing. So yeah, it does work really well. So yeah, I'm really glad we picked up Suicune. So yeah, let's move on to the next Pokemon.
Okay, so we also have Saw. Saw is our Latios, and I really... Latias, yeah. I get mixed up between the two. It really doesn't help when their Mega looks the exact same.
Yeah, the Megas. I think the only difference is their eye color or something like that, isn't it?
It's something like
something
that.
stupid like that. But yeah.
Anyway, so Saw this week has Leftovers with Levitate. It also has Wish, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, and Thunder Wave. Investments, we're talking 252 in Special Defense, 248 in HP, 8 in Attack, and we're rocking a Careful Nature this week. So, Physical Saw, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I was looking at Latias, and I was looking at what it could do versus his team, and I saw that he had the Magnezone, which so far to our team, it does a decent amount, especially spamming Volt Switch. It's not too fun, but we do have stuff for it, and I felt like Latias was probably the best thing to bring for it. And I was looking at its moves. Originally, I had like Dragon Pulse. I put Wish on it straight away because Wish is just a great move in general, to be perfectly honest. Even though it's not fast recovery, like Recover, it helps out the team a lot better, especially with us not having Rest on Suicune. It really helps us out there, as well as healing up our Wheezing if Mega Beedrill starts to become more of a problem, which it shouldn't do really, but you never know. He could run some strange set and it could destroy us, but I doubt that. So yeah. I went with Earthquake because it destroys Magnezone completely, and it allows us to hit Klefki as well. I was gonna run like Him Power Ground, but it's just physical's probably just better this week, to be perfectly honest. As well as we can hit Victini with it as well. Dragon Claw, we can hit Haxorus, and it's just a good stab in general. We could have put Zen Headbutt over Dragon Claw, but which actually might be better, but actually, no, because then Haxorus can freely set up on this thing, and we don't want that at all. So, yeah, we're rocking Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Wish, and Thunder Wave to paralyze stuff like Staraptor, Haxorus, Victini, Manaphy, Mega Beedrill, his very, very fast offensive mons that rely on its speed to U-turn out. So we want to punish that even more. And I think Latias will be nice support this week. Don't expect it to do a lot, but mainly just wall the Magnezone is really what it's here for. So yeah, we have Sword the Latias, physical Latias. Let's go.
Yeah, I really like it. I mean, there's also we could also like switch it in, wish up, and get back HP on the Noon if necessary. I mean, I don't think that's going to be necessary, but yeah, we could do that.
It's
It could
true.
be a way to like get back HP if a berry is popped and we're trying to get the belly drum off.
Hmm. So it's like a backup belly drum in a way. Um, Especially if we still have wheezing and we wish up our Lanoon, then we can just memento and then we have full HP Lanoon. And even if we don't have the berry, we can still set up a belly drum with the -2 special attack and attack. So yeah, again, this team is synergizing well with each other, which I like. So yeah, let's move on to the final Pokemon. Some could say the MVP of the team so far. That may change, but yeah, we got Charles,
Yep,
the boy.
Charles. This week is holding a Sugar Berry to lower those ground type moves so it doesn't like a loss with Sheer Force, Earth Power, Stealth Rocks, Ice Beam and Flamethrower. And we also have investments of 252 in speed, 252 in special attack, 4 in special defense, and we are rocking a timid nature to boost our speed whilst lowering our attack. And again, I don't think I'm really going to ever run a physical Charles, really. I mean, I've
Uh,
always thought about it, but like, not so sure now.
yeah, I mean, physical is pretty good as well because of the coverage it gets. Um, but usually, well, we have pretty good physical attackers anyway, like Breloom and Bishop. Um, as well as Lanoon now as well. Um, so yeah, physical ground stab can be really good, but not having that sheer force boosted ground type move can hurt a little bit, but it does get earthquake, so it still can do a lot of damage. But yeah, it really depends on the matchup with physical Nidoking. Um, but yeah,
Isn't
um,
isn't Bulldoze move that is sheer force boosted? Because that has a
yeah,
secondary effect.
Yeah, I don't know if it's stronger than Earthquake though. I think it might be base 95 after the um, buff. It's something like that. But I think Earthquake is just a little bit stronger than Bulldoze.
Okay.
But if you don't want the Life Orb recoil, it could be a good option. Um, but yeah, I guess we should just talk about the set here. We're holding this Berry because we can take a +1 Adamant Earthquake from Haxorus if he goes for that versus us, and then we can knock him out with an Ice Beam, which is perfect. And we also outspeed Haxorus if he's Adamant, and he's max speed, so that's perfect. We have Earth Power, Stealth Rock, Ice Beam, and Flamethrower. Flamethrower is there mainly for Mega Beedrill, just to ensure that KO. And Air Balloon Magnezone as well. Sugar Berry as well allows us to not wall Beedrill, but we can take it on better because his moves will probably be like U-turn, knock off, poison jab, and drill run, and he would click drill run versus us if he stayed in, and then we knock him out with a flamethrower, and that's a huge start gone. Stealth Rocks are really essential this match to break any potential sashes that he may have on his team. Also, again, like I said earlier on, it pressures his Volt Turn core with Mega Beedrill, Victini, Staraptor as well. So his team really doesn't appreciate Stealth Rocks, and as well as our Raw Suicune, it can really help us this match. Earth Power is just a good stab, hits Magnezone, Klefki, Victini, Manaphy pretty hard, as well as Cradilly as well. It doesn't hit super effectively, but it still does a lot. And then we have Ice Beam for Staraptor, Cradilly, Haxorus, and that's about it. This Nidoking is quite essential, especially with the Stealth Rocks. We don't have great rock setters, and that's one thing we were going to pick up with our point pick. Our point picks. We still have one left, I believe. Do we? One point pick left.
We still have one free swap left, and if we can earn the points, we can get a point pick as well. But we
Okay.
gotta earn the points, which
Okay.
is 200, and we have 50 at the moment.
Okay. And that's from getting like MVP of the week, game of the week, stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah,
To get the points. Okay. Yeah.
and it's 50 points for a win as well.
For a win. Oh, okay. So if we win and we get MVP with Lanoon and we get match of the week, you never know. Get 200 points and then...
I know, maybe, but I don't think many people would vote a sweep match of the week.
I don't know. I mean, seeing a Lanoon beat a Manaphy Victini Mega Beedrill sounds pretty good to me, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, Charles is a good staple this week for our team, and we were going to pick up a Roxanne, but we needed Lanoon and Weezing. So it's kind of a double-edged sword in a way. But I'm happy with this. We do have Bishop and Nidoking to set up rocks on our team so far. So not the best stealth rockers, but they work. And I think Nidoking will work this week. It worked in the Mock Bell, setting up rocks. I literally just led with it and clicked stealth rocks, and it worked out. So yeah, that's the team. Are you happy with the team? Because I sure am, especially after the Mock Bell. I can't stop talking about it because it's just great.
I am very, very happy with this team. I think it could work miles better than what I was thinking. And I cannot wait to see if it can actually do it. Because, it's like what you did made it look easy. What I have to do to make me replicate that is a bit more of a challenge.
Yeah. The thing is, it's really not that... I can say it's not that hard. But like I said, with the mock battle, it's like a double-edged sword, because if he doesn't bring a similar team, then it's like, oh, I kind of need to come up with a new strategy to get this to work. But we do have the main strategy with us, and like we said, if we kill Klefki, there's not a lot he can do to stop Lanoon, except from maybe like Scarf Magnezone. So you just need to scout out his sets a little bit, and I honestly believe you can do it this week, and we can get the ball rolling again for the Chester Chinchows, and we can get this team to the playoffs and maybe win, possibly, hopefully.
We'll see about that. I mean, I'd like to.
See.
Not say anything yet, but we'll see. So, table for this week. I'm not going to go through the whole entire thing, but I will mention that the Adelaide Agrons are still on top with 6 wins and a plus 24 differential. These guys just keep on winning, and it's scary as hell. We also have the Monterrey Gyarados right near them, and the Nijmengen Nuzleafs, and the Cape Arvox from last week as well. We gave the Cape Arvox a big fight, only forcing them to a 3-0, and there were chances I could have won. I so should have won that match.
Looking at the table at the moment, we're actually looking pretty good. 7th place is really not that bad at all. And if you look at the rest of, if you look down from our team, we see that there are a few -1 differentials going on. We have a -2, a -6, and then a 4 differential. Have they even played like that many games? Because they're 1 and 2 at the moment.
I don't know. This table, the tables seem to be like really weird. I don't know why the analysts are having a really hard job of updating the tables when the battles happen. It should be a simple, thing, really.
Anyway, if we look above us now, we see that there is quite a big gap there, with the Piplups having 4 more differential than us, which isn't too high, but it is a bit of a climb. And then we see the next differential up from that is 12, which is quite a lot more than us, but it's honestly not that bad. How many teams get into playoffs? Is it 8?
It is the top 8.
Top 8. So right now we are still in playoff contention. However, the teams below us are very, very close behind us. So hopefully with this strategy, we can get our differential up. We can pull off a win as well. That's the main thing. We want to pull that off. And if we don't, we get to use Linoon. So
yeah,
we win either way. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this week goes. And then after the match, we'll rewatch the match, see maybe things we did wrong, maybe in prep, or maybe a few misplays you may have made, a few plays that you made that were really good, and just kind of go over those things because I feel like so far we haven't really done that much. And I think it would help a lot if we did do that. So yeah,
Yeah, it would
we're
actually.
looking pretty good at the moment. So yeah, the Adelaide Agrons though, they're
Yeah.
looking kind of scary.
Yeah, what is their team? What is Adelaide's team? Uh, oh, here
Let's
we
have a
go.
look. Oh God. Oh
Oh,
no.
Charizard
Yeah,
X Topper Finny.
yeah,
Oh my god.
that makes sense. That is a really scary team. And even stuff like Hitmonlee, I know how strong Hitmonlee is. I have it in a league at the moment, and even though I'm like 1-3 or something like that because my team is complete garbage, Hitmonlee has like 10 kills, I think, something stupid like that after 4 matches. It is insanely strong, as well as really bulky stuff on his team like Ryu Nicholas. And then hard hitters like Megazard X, I can definitely see why that team is at top at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I use
that
Megazard
doesn't look
X
fun.
in the IBL, and my god,
Hmm.
it does work, but there's timing, and if you can set it in the right
Yeah,
way, it'll work
it
amazingly
works.
well. But you
I'm
gotta find the
just,
right set.
I'm just saying though, that team kind of dies till a noon. Just saying.
Every team dies to the noon.
That is very true. That is very, very true.
I'm pretty sure Lanoon would probably be like, if Ash had a Lanoon, he'd win every Pokemon League.
Yep. Ash, get yourself a Lanoon. There you go. That's tips
Yep.
from us.
Anyway, so that's where we're going to leave it off for this week. Look forward to the battle. It is going to be Sunday night, 8 p.m. like usual, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. There will be a link to the mock battle in the description below because it's just so goddamn awesome. So I will leave that in the description below. Links to Darude's channel, because he is goddamn awesome, will also be in the description below, as well as every coach that's in this league, new and old, if I can find the old ones, but some people have left. So it's really hard to find them.
Hmm.
But we do wish all the people who have left good luck in their future endeavours. Hope that they're doing well with themselves and everything's going well for them. For the new people, watch out, because we're coming and we're bringing a Lanoon.
Lanoon. Lanoon
Anyway,
strong.
so until next time, I'm JoesphGames,
And I'm Darude Leafstorm.
and we are out. See you again.
Goodbye.